Hello there, travellers! Now that we're stuck into the 6th series of Game of Thrones, I thought we'd use this 101 to talk about the top fan theories making their way across Westeros and the web, and whether we think there's an ounce of credit to any of them. I'm going to be talking about characters' real identities and heritages, how half of Game of Thrones could be Targaryens, and Jon Snow could have a twin sister, one that you've met before. Let's kick it off with Bran Stark. Now, if you're up to season 6 of the show, you'll know that he's a warg and a greenseer in training. But this theory is Bran a time traveler who went back in time and made Jaime throw Bran's past self out the window to stop a chain of events happening? Well, according to this fan theory, Bran can do more than just take control of animals and people in the present, but he can actually take control of people when he's visiting the past and manipulate the chain of events in time. Reddit user DeadCatXL theorizes that maybe Bran in the future is in a version of Westeros that's been completely destroyed, maybe overrun by White Walkers. And so to fix it, kind of like what X-Men Days of Future Past is all about, he heads back into time to see the alternate futures that are better than the one that he's in. He pinpoints the exact moment where the timeline split, the moment that shifts the chain of events, and it just happens to be the day where he catches Jaime and Cersei's incest thrusting in the broken Tower of Winterfell. Apparently here, Jaime and Cersei were to create more bastard children, and that affects the future. So he heads back to this time and then goes into Jaime's mind to push himself out the window to stop the copulation from happening, thus altering the chain of events. This may sound a little bit strange, but the more we learn about Bran, the more we see the potential of his abilities. Do you think that any of this is possible? Do you think maybe Bran could warg into Jaime for that to happen, thus stopping the chain? Anyway, let me know if you think that that's at all possible. Next, there's been plenty of evidence and talk that Jon Snow is actually a Targaryen, but theories have it that he was a twin and that Tyrion and even Varys are also Targaryens. All right, let's start off with Jon and the whole R+L=J talk. It's probably the most talked about fan theory, and it's yet to be proved, although there's been so much hinting towards it being true. Let's recap. Remember when Ned Stark took little old baby Jon Snow as his bastard son? Well, lots of people speculate in actual fact Jon was Ned's sister, Lyanna's baby, who was kidnapped by Rhaegar Targaryen, or kidnapped. Word has it they were really in love. And she birthed a bouncing baby bastard boy, Jon. The problem was, Lyanna was kind of promised to Robert Baratheon, and he didn't like it when he found out that his promised wife was with someone else. Hence, Robert's rebellion. Now that we've seen Bran go back to this time and watch Ned Stark outside the Tower of Joy, where this all took place, this theory is seemingly more and more true. So a lot of people think that R+L=J is true, but here's where you need to put on your tinfoil maester's chain. The newest theory is R+L=J+M. Now, if you haven't seen season 6, episode 3, then skip this one, because the M, who's that? It could be Mira Reed, Bran's traveling companion in the north. Yep, she could be Jon's twin sister, and here's how this makes sense. What if Lyanna didn't just give birth to Jon at the Tower of Joy, but twins instead? Who else was there with Ned? Oh, just Mira's dad, Howland Reed. Mira and Jon are the same age. They look similar. Lyanna Stark is said to have died the year that those two were born, so put the pieces together. Maybe Ned took Jon as his own, and Howland did the same with Mira. They're separated twins being protected. Sounds a lot like Star Wars, sure, but is this real? Are you convinced? Let me know. So Jon and possibly Mira are Targaryen. Could Tyrion be too? Well, there is some evidence suggesting so. Tywin Lannister possibly isn't Tyrion's father. His father instead could be the Mad King Aerys II. Now, Tywin served as the Mad King's hand, and in the times leading up to Robert's rebellion, his relationship with the Mad King was quickly disintegrating. Could it be because the Mad King was getting it on with his wife, Joanna, Tyrion's mother? The books definitely hint that the Mad King had the hots for Tyrion's mum, and that this was the root of his falling out with Tywin. He never loved Tyrion. He refuses to give him Casterly Rock, and on multiple occasions he states that Tyrion is not his son. In the book, A Storm of Swords, he says, "Men's laws give you the right to bear my name and display my colours, since I cannot prove that you are not mine." I always thought that this anger was because Tywin's wife died while giving birth to Tyrion, but maybe it's a lot more literal than we think. Maybe when he says, "You're not my son," it's because he's not his son. Throw in the fact that recently we see Tyrion completely be a dragon whisperer to Daenerys' dragons and winning them over with the story alone. Maybe it's because he's got Targaryen blood. Another Targaryen curveball is that the spider, the eunuch, the master of whispers himself, Varys, was a Targaryen too. Why not at this stage, right? Maybe you're a Targaryen. Maybe I'm a Targaryen. Maybe my jumper's a Targaryen. Everyone's a Targaryen. So why Varys? Well, his past is a little unclear, although he did say that he was born in Lys as a slave and was sold to a sorcerer who removed his bait and tackle for a magical ritual. That's a bit unlucky. But that's just what he's been saying. We actually have no factual proof of this, and he knows how important and valuable information and secrets can be. Could these words just be wind? He went from being a beggar on the streets to being on the small council of King Aerys. And throughout everything that's happened in all of the seasons, and even when he's been serving only the Baratheons, his priority has always been to Daenerys Targaryen. A spoiler from the books lends to support Varys being a Targaryen, so click forward if you don't want to hear this one. It's in A Dance of Dragons, when the Lannisters are losing power and Uncle Kevin steps in his hand. Varys kills him. Yep. Shoots him right in the gut because he's undoing all the Queen's good work by reconciling Highgarden and Casterly Rock and helping unite the Seven Kingdoms under Tommen's rule. The Queen that he's mentioning, Daenerys Targaryen. He didn't even want to kill Kevin. He's like, sorry man, you deserve better than this. You shouldn't die alone here in a dark alley. But you know what? You're a good guy doing the wrong person's work. So, Game of Thrones, man. So, which one of these fan theories are you buying and which ones are you denying? Let me know in the comments below. Never forget, the night is dark and full of terrors. My name is the Mortar of Dragons, Maude Garrett. I'll see you next time.
I snuck in there when I asked a white boy for help finding a book on kleptomania. She stamped it like a dum-dum, and when I went out without paying, she didn't even try to stop me. I didn't just steal a book, I stole a whole job because I stole a book on kleptomania. Figure that out, dong mongo.